This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 21st day of June in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Janet Cummings, and Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George today hailed the work of the Caribbean Court of Justice in advancing jurisprudence in the Caribbean region, noting that in Guyana alone, the CCJ has delivered several groundbreaking judgments. The Caribbean Court of Justice is currently hosting sittings in Guyana, presiding over 5 matters from across the region. The sittings are taking place at the Arthur Chung Convention Center. During an opening session this morning, Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George said the Caribbean Court of Justice has become a household name for Guyana. She said over the years and more recently, the court has been impactful not only to individual litigants, but to the nation as a whole.
I highlight that the CCJ embraces the diversity of our region, while emphasizing the necessity for inclusion and harmonization as it leads our jurisdictions in ensuring that the rule of law is upheld both in its original and appellate jurisdictions. I also emphasize that the CCJ is not only our apex court rendering final judgments, but it is a champion of judicial and legal education.
According to Justice George, the CCJ has been leading the way in ensuring that justice is delivered. As a result, she urged all the Caribbean nations not yet part of the CCJ to join the regional court.
The CCJ has set a very high standard, leading us in the advancement of court technology and inspiring us, as it has done, to achieve excellence in court and judicial administration. And in doing so, this enduring regional institution, which has celebrated its 18th anniversary this year, educates, guides, and enjoins us to ensure that in upholding the rule of law, we engender public trust and confidence in our justice systems.
An Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Janet Cummings, said Guyana is honored to have the CCJ as its apex court. She said while lots have been said about many of the court's decisions over the years, it remains a credible arbiter for the people of the region.
This court is known to be revolutionary, forward-thinking, and even groundbreaking in some of its decisions that it has given over the years. And since its establishment to date, the court has presided in 111 matters for Guyana alone.
The Acting Chancellor also explained that Guyana has contributed significantly to the development of the CCJ since its establishment in 2001. The court has litigated on 111 cases from Guyana since it became the country's apex court. This is the second time that the Caribbean Court of Justice is hosting sittings in Guyana. The last time was back in 2014. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord. I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup.
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavor, flavors. Bust the flavor, flavors.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yo, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? You know, I just pay my bills using MMG, you know?
Yes, Jack. And the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So, I don't need to submit any form?
No. The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait, I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man. Jack. You didn't know that? Yes. All self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor, or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 226-0415-7. Comfortable parking available.
Let's tell you now that with reports surfacing today that a 16-year-old girl who made a rape and sexual assault allegations against Government Minister Nigel Darmalal was taken back to the place of the alleged crime. While the accused minister was there, protests continued outside the office of the president today, with mounting calls for a thorough and fair investigation by the police. Opposition Member of Parliament and Attorney-at-Law Amanza Walton Desir said it is a clear case of the victim being re-victimized.
Why did Darmalal have to be there? Who determined that that was in the best interest of the child? And mind you, in cases involving minors, the investigation has to be conducted in a manner that it deals with what is in the best interest of the child. So why was Darmalal there? And why is she without legal counsel?
News source understands that a teenager has repeatedly requested to speak to an attorney, but those requests were denied, and a number of attorneys who are looking out for her interests were also denied meetings with her.
Because you cannot have a 16-year-old girl going up against a system of known cops who are not above perverting the course of justice. I mean, there's enough evidence in the public space to warrant the kind of suspicion with which people are treating the Guyana police force.
On the picket line today, members and supporters of the parliamentary opposition were joined by other political groups and some civil society members. Representatives of the Citizenship Initiative Party said the party intends to keep a close eye on the investigations and the posture of the Guyana police force as it probes the alleged sexual assault case.
We feel as though it should have been more expedited, but the process has started and we welcome a free and fair investigation.
Another executive from TCI, Shazali, said he's disappointed at the length of time it took the government to act in the matter. He said he's hoping for a transparent process.
And I hope that they act on this in a more transparent possible process and show everyone, make him an example it's happening in high offices and it's unacceptable.
Meanwhile, former Georgetown City Councillor and public health specialist Patricia Wolford said more persons need to stand up and raise their voices in support of the teenage girl.
These allegations are so serious that it warrants that this minister be removed from office. Now, if these allegations were made against anybody else, they would have been arrested and put before the court, right? But this minister is being allowed to walk in with his counsel and all of that. As Guyanese, we have got to stand up to prevent this from happening to more of our girls. As Christians, I want you to continue to pray that the corruption in high place be exposed and that these people be removed because the corruption is too much.
And General Secretary of the People's National Congress, Dawn Hastings Williams, was also among those on the picket line today. She was accompanied by a group of indigenous women who believe that they must all take a stand against injustice and ensure that justice is realized in the case.
We are going to keep on calling for investigations to be done in a proper manner. What we have already seen, is giving us mixed feelings. Persons still have a lot of doubt the way this matter is being treated or the way the investigations is being done.
Indigenous rights activist Joe Ramasindo said there's a whole lot that needs to be done with this particular case.
I am calling for justice. I am calling on the administration, the Ali administration, to do what is right. Give us justice. And the only justice that we want is to see Mr. Dharam Lal, I should not call him Dharam Lal, I should call him Nigel right now, go to jail. Because based on what the girl detailed and his actions afterwards, it gave us to believe that what he did is truth. I am also calling on the people of Guyana, regardless of who you are, regardless of your political affiliation. This here is not politics. This here is a national issue that is affecting our girl children.
And another rights activist, Samantha O'Neill Thomas, said she would like to see more of her indigenous brothers and sisters on the picket line, standing up for the indigenous teenager.
Well, what I want to say is that to my fellow indigenous people in Georgetown here, the same way you come out at Heritage to look at people dance and drink fly, come out here and support this young lady. This is one of us. This is a child whose innocence has been taken away. She is ruined for life. So please, especially to my indigenous brothers and sisters, please come out and support us. We need justice for this child. And even justice would not even be enough.
The Guyana Police Force has been tight-lipped on the investigations so far since its initial statement confirming the minister's arrest. With mounting calls for the minister at the center of rape allegations to be removed from office and not just proceed on leave, a number of civil society groups are joining the chorus of calls for a fair, thorough, and detailed probe of the rape and sexual assault allegations against the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Dharam Lal. Those allegations were leveled against the minister by a 16-year-old schoolgirl. In a statement, the Guyana Association of Women Lawyers said it condemns all acts of sexual violence, particularly against women and children. The association reminded that a minister of government is appointed by the people and for the people, and should at all times serve the people, adding that those who wield such power are not above the law. The Women Lawyers Group urged that the rule of law be upheld for a full and fair investigation into the allegations to protect the interests of all parties. Additionally, the Women Lawyers issued a call on the Guyana Police Force and all the relevant authorities to conduct a thorough and unbiased investigation, while upholding their primary objective to serve and protect. The group also urged members of the public not to peddle speculation and misinformation that could pervert the course of justice. In a statement on Tuesday, the Guyana Public Service Union raised concern over attempts by another minister of government to meet with a child and the involvement of the Child Care and Protection Agency in the actual investigations. According to the GPSU, it is a violation of the Sexual Offences Act and a direct affront to the rule of law for any government official or any other person outside the sexual violence unit of the police force to establish contact with a child who is in need of protection. The GPSU also said the Child Care and Protection Agency Act makes no provision for investigation by the agency or anyone outside the remit of the police force under the circumstances of the current case. And political party, the Citizenship Initiative, in a late-night statement on Tuesday, said it is disappointed that due process in the matter only started after public pressure was placed on the government. TCI expressed its disappointment that the government did not act decisively in removing Minister Daramalal from public office, especially given his track record of vulgar utterances at the highest forum, Parliament, and other similar accusations of vulgar misconduct circulating in social media. The group said it is of the opinion that whatever the outcome of the case, the public should not be foisted with the likes of Daramalala, who the group believes lack the character and is not worthy of high offices in Guyana. The Guyana Police Force is continuing its investigation of the allegations against the government minister, who was arrested on Monday evening but released on $1 million station bail hours later.
So what going on, champ? I passed here last week and this shop lock up tight.
Why? We come down with the flow, so we have to take a couple of days.
I can't deal with them kind of setbacks, Bano. I just get a headache when you see I can't make me little bread.
I know them ways, champ. But thank God for NIS.
NIS? What you got to do now with NIS?
I mean, what I got to do with NIS? I register as self-employed and I make monthly contributions to NIS. So you see, for them days I lose, NIS pay me back for most of them days.
What? That is good. You know, I always used to believe that it's only people in big offices and so they pay NIS.
Nah, man. NIS for any working person between the ages of 16 to 60. And as self-employed, you get all the benefit as an employee, except for industrial benefits.
So what I do for set up this thing?
All I gotta do is visit NIS on Breakdown, or if you're living out of town, you visit any NIS closest to your location. And once you register and your registration complete, you can start making NIS contributions.
Alright, so what I walk with and like how much money I gotta pay a month?
I ain't gotta walk with no big money. All I gotta walk with is your birth certificate and any farm ID. And when you reach down there, ask for the compliance department.
Good. Thanks for the information, bro. As soon as I left here, I went straight to the NIS office.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Former chairman of the Police Service Commission and retired Assistant Police Commissioner Paul Slow has said that from all indications, the Region 2 Commander Comrade Shiv Baran may have been attempting to pervert the course of justice in relation to a statement that the commander himself took from the complainant in the alleged rape case against a local government minister. A document that showed the alleged victim recanting her story initially was signed by the commander in the area. Mr. Slow told News Source that was unusual.
So I find it very inappropriate that the commander of the division would have been the one to take this statement. Clearly, it was part of the coercion. Clearly, it was part of the cover-up. And I said, and I indicated, if you attempt, the laws of Guyana, if you attempt to cover up a crime, that is a criminal offense in itself.
The Guyana Police Force has not issued any statement on the matter, but the scene superintendent has distanced himself from the allegations.
Because here it is, he is taking a statement from the victim, and the circumstances on which this statement has been taken by a male commander of the division with no female rank present. I think the thing say that it was taken in the presence of her mother and her father. But under the Sexual Offences Act and the way police are taught to investigate these matters now, a female should have been the one, if a statement was to be given, a female of appropriate rank and experience and knowledge should have been the one to take the statement.
Slow said even if the commander was given instructions to take a statement as a commander, he should know what is right from what is wrong and what are the procedures that should be followed. The Public Utilities Commission has raised concern over the Guyana Power and Light Company's backbilling process, saying that the process needs to be urgently reviewed. Backbilling is a process used by GPL to recover commercial losses from electricity theft, such as meter tampering, meter bypass, and defective meters. In a statement today, the PUC said it conducted an internal forensic audit after receiving numerous complaints by consumers against the Guyana Power and Light Company. The PUC said its investigations focused on consumers who alleged electricity theft. The PUC said its study revealed that the appliance audit list, which GPL has been utilizing for over 15 years to backbill consumers, accounts required urgent revision. The PUC explained that when electricity theft is detected, the power company is required to retroactively bill consumers' accounts to recover from the electricity utilized but not recorded by the meter for a period not exceeding 24 months. The Commission said after it recognized that the measurements on the list of appliances used by GPL were outdated, it seized the opportunity to review the existing appliance list and collaborated with GPL to determine new measurements. The new consumption index will be made effective from the 1st of July. The Commission also stated that the compilation of new kilowatt-hour values was created, which will allow for a reduction in the values assigned to most of the appliances in use here in Guyana. A Venezuelan woman who was already behind bars serving a 6-month sentence for operating a brothel has landed in more hot water and is now facing 9 counts of trafficking in persons. The accused, Maylin Cordova, operated a business in the town of Bartica. According to a police statement, she is accused of trafficking 9 Venezuelan women from their homeland to Guyana between the 15th of March and the 30th of April this year. The woman is accused of exploiting the women in the Cayuny River area. The alleged victims reported the matter to the Guyana Police Force, and members of the Trafficking in Persons Unit conducted an investigation, the police said. Based on the investigation, legal advice was given by the Director of Public Prosecutions for Cordova to be charged with 9 counts of trafficking in persons. The Guyana Police Force's TIP unit, in effort to combat trafficking in persons, says it will continue to work with other stakeholders to conduct intelligence-led operations, spot inspections, awareness, and training in every region of the country. In this year's U.S. State Department Trafficking in Persons report, it was noted that while Guyana has met the minimum standards to eradicate trafficking in persons, there was a need for more persons to be charged for the crime and for more convictions to be made.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, the World Health Organization has certified Belize as being free from malaria, marking success for the Central American country after 70 years of continuous efforts to eradicate the disease. The number of cases of malaria, which is caused by a bite from an infected Anopheles mosquito, have dropped from about 10,000 cases in 1994 to 0 indigenous cases in 2019. In its efforts to wipe out the disease, Belize has worked with the Belize Vector Ecology Center to analyze data on the density and distribution of malaria-carrying mosquitoes. It has encouraged the use of insecticide-treated mosquito nets and trained community workers to give more timely diagnosis and treatment. It has also collaborated with neighboring Mexico and Guatemala, which the WHO said had been essential. WHO has so far certified 42 countries and 1 territory as having managed to eradicate malaria. Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Jarabas Barbosa, said Belize is the 4th country in the Americas and the 2nd in Central America to be certified as free of malaria over the last 5 years. St. Kitts and Nevis has moved one step closer to becoming one of the most marijuana-friendly places in the Caribbean, as parliamentarians approve 4 bills regarding its use and possession. The Smoking Designated Areas Bill, which was presented in Parliament by Prime Minister Terence Drew, designates certain specified public places as smoking areas to prohibit smoking outside of a designated area in public places, to better provide for protection from exposure to certain types of smoke and for related or incidental matters. Drew said he believes creating specific places for smoking is the best scenario for St. Kitts and Nevis. But opposition leader Mark Brantley is concerned that the bill would encourage islanders to operate vehicles while under the influence of marijuana. He highlighted the government's move to make the upcoming St. Kitts Music Festival marijuana friendly as a potential risk for motorists and pedestrians. Brantley said the issue goes beyond separating smokers from non-smokers. And finally tonight, international news. Rescue teams were racing today to trace the urchins of songs heard from the depths of the North Atlantic in search for a tourist submersible with 5 people on board that had vanished on its descent to the century-old wreck of the Titanic. The U.S. Coast Guard said remotely operated vehicle searches were deployed in the area where Canadian aircraft detected the undersea noises on Tuesday as the clock ticked in the last 24 hours of the missing craft's presumed air supply. The 21-foot submersible Titan, operated by U.S.-based Ocean Gates Expedition, began its descent at 8 a.m. on Sunday, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. It lost contact with its parent surface vessel soon after that during what should have been a 2-hour dive to the Titanic. The U.S. Coast Guard said on Tuesday that it had enough air for 41 hours, which would mean a deadline of roughly 6 a.m. on Thursday Thursday. The vessel has 96 hours of air supply according to its specifications, assuming that it is intact. But experts say the deadline depends on a range of factors, including whether it has power. The wreck of the British ocean liner, which sank when it hit an iceberg on its maiden voyage in 1912, lies on the seabed at a depth of about 12,500 feet.
And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.